Hello fellow car hobbyists and project car and classic car collectors. I'm going to be showing you a video of some tips that you could possibly use when you're restoring your old car. These tips could be very helpful, saving you both time and money, like we're supposed to be doing. Saving time and money, most important. Except that you don't want to look like shit and don't want to save too much money, so keep that in mind. First off, I will give you a brief overview of some ideas. Well, not ideas, but I guess you could call it inspirations. Now, my uncle drove he has 68. Okay, he has a 67 Pontiac Firebird convertible. I'm trying to hold that as nice as tight so you can kind of see that. It's all stock, all restored, gorgeous, beautiful car. Restored it in the 90s. But that car didn't look just like that, like that. That car came out of a barn, literally, like a barn, and was just full of shit and rust. And it took a lot of time to work on that and fix it. So, I mean, so here's the engine compartment. If you can see that, it's got the 425 or what kind of inches the Firebirds have? I can't remember. 4 somethings. I know that. I wonder if they'll tell me on these pictures. Nah, shit doesn't. But anyway, here's a good picture to show you. Here's his engine, his whole hood area. He's got that all painted nicely. He's restoring that. Pretty nice car, you know. See, I don't think you want to see the rest of these cars. They're sitting in a garage. He's working on it. That's really nice, you know. Whatever. Nice car, nice pictures. Okay, that's nice. Takes a lot of work, you know. It takes a lot of work to restore those things, make them nice, and time and money, of course. And not just that, but also the spirit, because it's going to wear you out, so you better have a lot of energy and motivation to finish your project car. Put those in envelopes. Now, I got my car 4 years ago. Here's a brief snapshot of it. I know. Baby blue with skirts, white roof, and red and black interior. Quite the color combination, I know. But hey, I'm going to restore it, so we won't worry about that. Now, I recently purchased, well, I shouldn't say recently, but I brought a book about a couple years ago. It was called Project Mustang. Now, Project Mustang is, of course, not the car I have, but a Falcon and a Mustang are almost close to identical floor pans, you know, body, frame. A lot of it's the same. Now, of course, this car that this guy is restoring is, I believe, a 67 Mustang California Special. I want to confirm that first. Let's see if it tells us here exactly. I want to know what year. Okay, it's a 68. It's a 68 model California Special. Really good looking Mustang. Okay, so I paid like $25 or $20 for this book, so it better be good, because I mean, it basically goes through a walkthrough of the entire restoration process and tips for doing this car. Now, the guy who does this is his name Larry Lyles. Now, he's really associated with EastWood, so he's a very good source. So you gotta trust him. Very good auto restorer. Very good at cars. Now, this goes with everything: supplies, paints, cars, car parts, body pieces, every single thing you want to know. Sanders, tools, everything. Tips, you know, tips to save you money. Very interesting. What kind of blocks and dollies? Now, I wouldn't advise using hammers to fix your dents, because yeah, that ain't gonna work. You have to use dollies, and you've got to use little metalworking dollies with shrinking dollies to make those dents work. And you just can't spray can it. Well, I guess you could, but it probably won't look very good. And you better get a DA sander, because your hand's going to get tired from sanding all day, so you probably don't want to use that. Sandpaper all the time. I use sandpaper sometimes. If it's a small area with rust, I could just go in there and scrub it out, you know, and clean it. But you want some good quality equipment. Look, it even gives this little area write notes. Oh, that is so nice. It tells you how to remove the bumper, the windshield, the door skins, everything. I mean, it tells you how to remove everything in this car. I mean, this is awesome. I mean, wow. It even tells you how to remove the convertible top. That is just damn awesome. Now, of course, he is a auto restorer for automobiles, so he's going to have a lot of this good equipment available. Now, you're probably saying, I don't have this, and this. That's okay. You don't have to have everything ready. if I was restoring a car, I would really be working on the rust first and the body, and making sure that it runs well, and making sure that you've got it cleaned out, because it gets dirty. Trust me, really dirty. Lots of rust. Ugh. So this book is a very good briefing of how to do pretty much everything you need to do on an old car. I mean, sanding, color sanding, Bondo, I mean, you name it. Everything's in here. Even underneath the floor pan. Now that's pretty damn cool. Shows us how you paint it. He uses a lot of stock stuff. So that costs money. You can't always rely on that because it's going to cost you a lot of money. So to basically save you some money, I would advise you to get clearance stuff. I know. Well, actually, it's a good idea because clearance products are really good for car restorations. They really are. Harbor Freight is a good one. Their sandblaster is pretty good. It's the same one as EastWood's. Their wire wheels are pretty good. $5 for like 6 of them, and they last a while. Instead of going to the store and spending $3 for one because it's a rip-off. Trying to think what else we can do. Wire brushes, go to the dollar store. I went to a dollar store and they had one of those wire brush things that you hold with the handle of wood and you scrub it. I mean, I got a whole bunch of those for like $1. I got the mini ones for like 3 of them for $1. One takes paint, one takes rust, one's just, I don't know, cleaning it up. Trying to think what else. Plastic, your goggles, dollar store. Your face mask thing, or your, for the paint respirator thing, not like the respirator, but the dust mask, $1 at the dollar store. Plastic sheeting for painting, cleaning up, $1. You get the stuff at the dollar store. But when it comes down to the quality stuff, you can't find it at the dollar store. You can find the scrapers like for moving tar at the dollar store, but you're not going to find paint at the dollar store. So you got to make sure you get the right stuff. Yeah. Now, I paid like $45 for this. This is a basic sand block kit for restoring a car, 7-piece. This was originally like $100, so I got it off like 50% off. Now, you can buy your own custom sanding blocks and, you know, disc sanders and whatever else at Harbor Freight, but this is an EastWood product, so I want to make sure I got that correct. Just like this big old body stick here in your... Hey, you can actually hit someone in the head with this, but you want to keep these nice and clean. You do not want to get these ruined. These are not very expensive, or very cheap. These are not cheap. You want these to be clean. When you restore a car and you're sanding it, and you're getting all that dust and shit in here, you want to take your air compressor, your air compressor with your blaster knob, with your air, and you want to shoot right inside this and just make that nice and clean. And you take them, when you put a new piece of sand paper on there with the adhesive, you want to be careful you get that straight because you do not want any indentations getting in there, or that will leave marks in your Bondo, and that is not going to be very good. And I don't have to even restore a car to know that because that is a basic. Now, of course, this is made to stretch, if you can tell. Not a lot, so where you break it in half, but enough that it gives it enough flexible movement about Bondo, you know, about Bondo. You want to put down a significant amount of pressure on your Bondo, basically, or sanding. When you're sanding an area, you want to use just the X motion, pretty much, depending on what you're sanding. If it's a roof, yeah, sure, go ahead. If you're using a rounded area, you gotta come down a little bit. You gotta come down, or else it'll freaking your Bondo's gonna be way off, and it's gonna look like shit. So, for tips, when I would restore a car, I would start cleaning it out, getting rust. I wouldn't start treating rust. Don't do it yet because you gotta make sure you can paint it too. Start removing freaking mice bed shit, all that icky crap in there from mice in the fields. Clean it out. Start getting areas of tar removed because stuff's icky. You don't want that old 50-year-old tar in your car, do you? I'm trying to think what else. I would start working in the trunk and work my way to the front. A lot of people like to do the front to the back, while I like to do the back to the front. Start on an area, make sure you finish that, and make sure you intertwine areas of paint, so that way everything's nice and smooth. Last year I got this little car trophy plaque for having a cool looking car, because I didn't finish it, but it was a project. Outstanding cool ride. So yeah, pretty cool. Yeah. If I was to restore a car, I would want to make sure I have the right tools. Yeah. That's all I can say. Right tools, right dedication, you should have the right car. then I would most certainly, I would get rid of all the paint in the inside, and make sure you sandblast all your seams out from tar and rust, because water sits in there, and you do not want to just paint over that. That is not going to fix your solution. That is not going to help you. This guy, he makes sure every single thing is done to perfection. My uncle even said that too once. He says, if you're restoring a car, you do it all the first time, or you're gonna keep redoing your mess. Fix other people's mess. Sandbondo, get rid of rust. Fix dents. Make sure you get the right pieces put together. You know, do it right, basically. Do it right. Don't do it wrong. But don't rush it either, because you want to make sure you know what you're doing. What else we got in here? A couple tips too. If you're going to do chrome on your car and you've got paint and rust on it, a little bit of rust or paint, or just a haze, use 04 steel wool, and you can scrub that and it'll take it right off. Won't scratch your chrome. Of course, you may want to re-chrome your chrome, because it's 50 years old or old. And you can also use 04 steel wool on galvanized metal, windshields. Just be careful to get that paint off if you've been working on it. I use it all the time. It's fine. Does not hurt your car. Go look it up on the internet. People will tell you it's fine. Don't worry. You can trust me. If you're going to go underneath the car and work on it, put 2 jacks down and make sure they're good jacks. If one falls or fails, you've got another one. Because if you're underneath the car, you're dead. I'm sorry, but you're not going to make it. I've never had a car come down on me, because I always use 2 jacks. And sometimes I even put one of those little wheel jacks underneath there. So I like to be careful, Be safe. Wear a dust mask, because paint lead's bad for you. You don't want to breathe that in. Rust, you don't want to breathe in any lead. It's not good for you. Use gloves. That sharp metal in those cars is freaking sharp because it's 50 years old. Sometimes in the factory they didn't finish welding or an area, or grinding it, and you got a sharp piece of metal, and you go in there and you slice your whole finger. Literally. So be careful. Take your time, have fun. Do it right, and have yourself a ball for your old classic car, like I'm doing. Make sure you store your car in a warm area, because you don't want to get water on it. Yeah, that too. So yeah, see you later. Have fun with your car. Go on the internet, look up tips on restoring cars. Don't buy name brand unless you need to. You can go to the dollar store and get stuff. It works. Subscribe, and see you later. Happy car hunting and car restoring. Yeah.